Hello, my name is Paula Sides, and I have sung with ETO numerous times, and I am due to sing with them again in 2021, singing in The Golden Cockerel by Rimsky-Korsakov, and I am so excited about it. And they're also going to be performing La Boheme. Now, COVID-19 has turned the arts world upside down, but English touring opera has been amazing. They have paid their artists, even though the whole season was canceled. They paid their artists anyway, their full fees. And I support them so much because they care about their artists, and that means a lot to the musicians in the world right now because this is a very uncertain time. So if you can, go and support them. You can find ways of supporting them online, and I'll talk more about that at the end. All right, so singing lessons. Wow, online. The whole world of singing lessons has gone upside down. I've been teaching my students online, on Zoom, on FaceTime, on WhatsApp, and ETO has been really trying to reach out to all of you, whether you're professional singers, whether you sing for a choir, and they're trying to give you some material so that you can continue to learn during this time of not being able to have your usual singing lessons or choir rehearsals. So check out all the lessons, and there are even great lessons for kids. So if you have kids and you're going, oh my God, what am I gonna do now with my child? Just go on and just watch a few of those lessons with your kids and have a good time yourselves. Now, there are some great lessons. I watched Themba did an amazing lesson right before me. Please go back and watch that. And before him, Susie Hurl, she did a brilliant lesson as well. And I just wanted to talk about two of the things that they were both discussing. Susie is amazing at body work and support and doing body exercises. And then Themba was talking about release and relaxation in a lot of ways. So what I would love to do is combine the two and bring them together. So one thing that I like to discuss with my students is the yin and yang of singing. You have strength, you have support, you have power, and then you have relaxation, release, and not tightening up, to be completely honest. How do you do those two things at the same time? And I'm gonna discuss that a little bit and give you some tools and how to sing high and not get tense. All right, this is a struggle for everybody. First things first, I want you to get on the floor right now and plank with me, all right? So let's go. Okay, so before you plank, I don't want you to tense your shoulders as much as possible. We're relaxing our upper body. We are relaxing our hands. We're keeping our body soft in the upper body. But what we're doing is we're focusing our energy on our pelvis. And I want you to tuck that pelvis in and really engage the lower abdominal muscles around just above the pelvis. Think about all the muscles that are activating around your pelvis, okay? All the way around. I like to call it the pelvic belt. It's this feeling of strength that we can have. All right, ready? Let's do this. So lift up, completely flat. Try to remain completely loose. The neck is not held. Everything is as relaxed as possible. Relaxing the jaw, breathing. Now, tucking that pelvis, thinking about, all right, I want to make sure that I'm focusing on my lower abdominals, strengthening that part of the body that is supporting my diaphragm. Release. Relax the upper body as much as possible. That neck is loose. Hands are loose. Move a little bit if you start to feel fixed. You'll feel this a lot in your lower back. A very important thing for singing. Back muscles. Very good. Very, very good. Now, relax down. Stretch up. And stretch down. This is releasing the lower back. It's really important after you've planked that you stretch. Okay? Now, let's get back up. So, why did we just put ourselves through that? Now, the reason why is because to sing high and sustained, and that's what we're going to be discussing today, that takes a lot of strength in the lower body. It takes a lot of strength in your back muscles. Now, let's talk specifically about the upper back. Now, for men, they have a lot more muscle in general in the upper body. But for women, we tend not to. We tend to be a lot softer in the upper body. And sometimes women can get in this posture, yeah? We end up with this collapsing down. And I want to try to help you try to get more openness here in a natural, organic way, not feeling that you're having to pull it open, but that it naturally lies there. That takes time, okay? If already you're feeling collapsed here, and when you go to sing and you watch some of the other videos and they're like, posture is like this, and if that feels odd, then let's talk about an exercise that can get you to strengthen your upper back, okay? Now, what I want you to do, find a wall, stand against that wall. Now, I don't have a wall here. I have like a fireplace situation going on, but if I had a wall, I'm imagining a wall behind me. I'm relaxing against that wall, releasing. Now, to strengthen my upper body, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my arms up like this, and I'll show you. I'm just going to pull my arms back and pinch my shoulder blades together. What I like to call this is that area where the sports bra is. There, you're just pinching it together and holding it for 10 seconds. All right, so what we're doing is we're just going to hold it, pinch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Now, we're not doing this exercise with our shoulders. We're just trying to focus on the back, pulling those shoulder blades together and releasing. The stronger our upper back is, ladies, the stronger it is, the more that we won't feel tight here trying to hold that posture. To get the posture right, we want this to be released, okay? We want this to be released. My washing's done. That's amazing. All right. So what I want you to do is if this is released here, you will basically feel, oh my gosh, oh, my high notes, they're really easy today because this isn't tight. If this is tight, I just love the fact that it's Schubert. Amazing, isn't it? Excellent. Now listen. If this is tight, your high notes are going to be tight. They just will. If these muscles are tight, your high notes will be tight. It will feel a bit like strangling a duck. We don't want that sound. We want a beautiful, free sound. Now, you've done your stretch. You've done your stretch here. Now let's do another stretch where we're interlacing our fingers together and we're opening the chest. Feel stretch along your shoulders. Relax your neck. And if you want to make that a little bit more intense, just pulling the arms up a little bit. Make sure you breathe. And relax that down. So, I was talking earlier about the yin and yang of singing. Strength and relaxation. So the strength is never fixed. The relaxation is never flopped. If your relaxation is so flopped that your posture is flopped, you're in deep trouble. So let's discuss how we can feel strong and released. So in your lower body, I want you to stand with your feet hip width apart. Your pelvis is tucked. Wow, that makes a big difference. So let's do that again. Your pelvis, my bottom really sticks out. Now when I tuck my bottom, it goes boom. My glutes are engaged, my legs are engaged. I can still move, but I can move in a really supported way. Now, that combined with what I like to call a ragdoll at the top. So you've got pelvis tucked, everything's engaged, and ragdoll at the top. That way you can just be free. Your hands are soft, your arms are soft, your shoulders are soft, your neck is floating. That feeling right after you go to the spa. Oh, now let's move with that feeling. So the lower body, I want to do a big hip turn. The lower body is engaged, the upper body is soft. It's a ragdoll at the top, and the lower body is completely, powerfully engaged, but flexible at the same time. Going the other way. Letting that neck drop, like Themba said, it's really useful. All right, so you've just relaxed the upper body. You're powerful in your lower body. Now, singing high, we're going to talk about breath speed. Now, when we sing low, it usually feels easier. It usually feels more released, more natural. And then when you get high, something changes. All of a sudden, you start to feel tension. You start to feel tight, and you might wonder why. I'm supporting everything is going good, but this Beethoven is kicking my bum. I don't know how to maintain this level of height and stay released. So what I want you to do is think about a wind instrument, a clarinet, an oboe, a reeded instrument, and then think about yourself. We are reeded instruments ourselves. Inside our body, we have two reeds, and they're called vocal cords, and they come together. If we're singing low, they come together with a slower speed of air. If we're singing high, they come together with a higher speed of air. If the speed of air is not right to bring those cords together at the pitch that we're thinking, what happens is the neck muscles and what's called the arytenoids above the vocal cords have to work really hard to pull those cords together to create a sound that is not supported by the speed of air we're using. And that is the main reason why high notes get tight really quick. Really quick. So basically, you have to have a high speed of air for high notes and a low speed of air for low notes. So let's try an exercise now together. I want you to tuck your pelvis. You're strong in your pelvic belt. Your pelvic floor is engaged, and your upper body is nice and ragdoll. Your head is floating. Your arms are loose. And this is a really important thing. Ladies, think about your upper back. Get the upper back to be awake. Get on to support that floating head. Your lower back is engaged. Your back is totally powerful, but the front is completely soft. All right? So we're going to start with a low speed of air. A low speed of air for a low note. We have one hand on your belly button, one hand on your chest. And I want you to just think about what happens and feel what happens when you blow air. So we have let's do that one more time. So we go. What did you feel in your hand and here? What did you feel? Let's do it again. Did you see that little bit of movement here? Just a little bit of movement. Does it go down or does it go up? Let's try it again. All right, so instead of going down, it should go up. There should be a buoyancy here where it's allowed, the rib cage is allowed to just go up a little bit. Why does it go up? It goes up because your diaphragm is actually going up. We can't control the diaphragm. It's a very important muscle that allows us to sing, but we can support it. We support it with our transverse abdominis, these lower abdominal muscles that are activated when Themba was talking about intention of speech, wanting to communicate. Wait! Hey! All of those things activate those transverse abdominis, while the rest of your body relaxes and allows the diaphragm to move up, okay? So if your chest collapses down, it means that you're tightening and actually blocking the diaphragm from doing what it needs to do. So now, let's speed the air up. What needs to happen for high note, all right? So your pelvis is tucked, you're standing tall, your head is floating, and we go, exciting, isn't it? It's a very different feeling. You have to move that air quickly. Now, remember, keep your jaw loose, keep your tongue loose. Everything is loose. It's just the speed of air we're looking at, okay? So it's good. All right. So at first this might feel a bit weird. One way that you can do it is pretend that you have a dial and you're turning it up. So let's start with the dial low. Okay? This is a really good way to practice speeding up your air without singing. Okay? Now, let's sing. All right, everybody, singing now. We're gonna go from here. And I want you to think about turning up that dial of air. Now, before, when I mentioned that this shouldn't collapse, now for everyday breathing to live, it does collapse. It does go, it does relax down. But for singing, there's a big difference because the pressure that we're creating in our body to change that speed of air does something very different than it does when you're breathing to live. The pressure increases in the body, and that is what changes the way that it works, where it goes, it's that buildup of pressure. Now that pressure is not tension, okay? The tension is the tight here. This is still loose, released, relaxed. This is all released, relaxed. But what happens is we're just changing the pressure, okay? So, if I am imagining those pitches and I'm going, okay, let's do that again. Imagine the pitches in your head and then think about a slower airflow, going to a higher airflow. Now remember, this is middle voice for sopranos and tenors. We're not, blasting out top A's here. We don't need okay? So try to slow the breath down while keeping that power in the lower body. Keep that pelvis tucked. Legs are on, but you're still able to move. You're not going, you're just keeping it loose. My husband is laughing. It's hilarious. Now, keep it powerful. The upper body is loose and controlled. You've got a nice floating feeling. And then it's now, if you do this and all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's a bit of a skip in the middle, some of those pitches weren't exact, oh my God, that just means that you need to sing with your brain. Sing those notes with your mind and think about that airflow. Now, sometimes when you try to do this, other stuff goes. The body turns off. You start focusing, things start tightening, and you don't even know they're tightening. So what I want you to do, don't listen to yourself. There's a previous lesson where they talked about listening to yourself and analyzing what you just did. Record yourself. Get your phone out. Record yourself. Play it back. Get a mirror. I have huge mirrors in my house. And the reason why is I want to see my full body, you know? I want to look at it and I want to see what's going on. I want to see, is my neck coming forward? Am I tightening? Does my eyebrows, are they helping a little too much? Is there tension going on in my jaw and my face? Get in front of a mirror. Do mirror work and you'll be able to be a teacher to yourself that is kind and gentle and generous. I don't want to see any, face slapping when you have tension, just be loving to yourself and say, okay, I just need to release a little bit more. I need to try what Paula said, what Themba said, what Susie said about strengthening and releasing. All right, so let's try that again. Now, you ready? Your pelvis is tucked. Make sure those legs and your toes are on, okay? And how did you do? Was that good? Let's try it again. Relax. Speed of air, slow speed. Okay, great. Fantastic. That's something to play around with, all right? Now, high. Singing high without feeling like you're strangled with tension or tight here. Most of my students, when they come to me, especially choral students, they get so tight around the diaphragm. They're like, here, it cramps so much by the end of a concert. And I'm like, okay, all right. Remember, support is much lower in the body, yeah? This has to be free in order for the diaphragm to do what it needs to do, to go up and down, all right? So if you feel any pain at all, stop straight away, okay? If you feel anything at all when you're singing high, between here and here, stop. The speed of air isn't right. The support isn't right. Go back, sing low again. Find out where that floating feeling is. And then say, I should feel that. Even when I'm singing top C's, I should feel that. I shouldn't feel like I am literally being strangled by a tenor, okay? Sorry, tenors. You should feel a release, a euphoric release, and strengthen the lower body, but you shouldn't feel anything in your neck if the speed of air is right, because those arytenoids will just come together when the speed of air is right. Chords will come together on their own when you're thinking of a pitch and the speed of air is right, okay? You gotta trust physics. Trust the fact that you're a reed instrument, okay? Now, let's go to singing some Golden Cockerel, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so this phrase is something that before I would even begin to sing something like this, I would get the airspeed right. I get into my body. I might try it on one leg, because if you are like, everything is like too loose up there, the tension will rise and you'll start to feel tight. I mean, you'll even feel tension in your head. I mean, it's really not very pleasant if you're singing high and you're not supported properly. Okay, so now we're gonna do it on a S. I'm gonna have my dial here. My pelvis is tucked and S. All right, I'm not feeling anything like that, okay? Yes, this is a top B flat. We do not want to feel strangulation on a top B flat. It normally doesn't sound good. So now let's try to sing it. And I'm only gonna try to feel what I felt when I did that, when I sing it. So I'm not adding any tension, and that was all right. But actually what I'm gonna do is add the homework that Themba gave me, which I love his homework because it's something that I do all the time. Intention. If you don't have intention, I mean, why am I saying the skylark sings? I mean, really, that is not everyday language. How do we make language, and if you're singing in a foreign language, you have to mean what you say. Or what happens is these transverse abdominis can be lazy, they can fix, and they can get tight. But one way to wake them up is to mean what you say, because what happens is our primal instinct kicks in, wanting someone to hear us. So I'm going to say it. The skylark sings. I mean it. Not exactly sure why yet, but I'll find out. You know what I mean? The skylark sings. It's exciting. I want to tell my neighbors. I want to tell the street. I want to tell that cat over there. You know, you gotta mean it. If you don't mean it, everything can get too tight and too fixed. So now I'm going to sing it again, but with that intention. And you'll notice a difference. Now, these differences are slight, but they mean a lot because they keep you from getting tight over time. So, my pelvis is tucked. I'm releasing my upper body. Now I'm going to tell somebody, all right? The skylark sings. I mean it. I want somebody to know. Now, my speed of air wasn't quite fast enough at the top. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? Because I was thinking of telling someone. That's normal. When you think of doing one thing, something else might go awry. So then what you have to do is put them together. So, my homework for you. I want you to take a phrase from anything you're working on at the moment. I want you to practice tucking your pelvis, standing tall. Ladies, really opening the chest, even though that might be self-conscious for you. Just open the chest, think about the back muscles, yeah? And I want you to sing that phrase on a speed of air. Just getting the speed of air right for that phrase. Feeling that this is going up rather than collapsing, yeah? Okay? Now I want you to try it on one leg if you can, all right? Nice yoga. The reason why is because it's really easy for the lower body to completely turn off. And if you're standing on one leg, if you can, remember, listen to your body. If you can, do it on one leg. Your lower body will definitely be on, but the upper body, jello, soft, okay? So, I want you to take that phrase. I want you to do it on on the speed of air, and then I want you to sing it. And I want you to remember that intention that Themba was talking about. It's so important. Why do we sing? We sing to communicate with people, okay? That's why we do it. We do it because we care about it, all right? So that's your homework. Now, I want you, if you can, take a few minutes, go on the ETO website, English Touring Opera. I want you to go on their website. I'm just going to make sure I've got this right. EnglishTouringOpera.org.uk. Go on their website and support them because they are supporting their artists. They really want to bring art back to you and to all the communities across the UK, not just London, but bringing it to where people all over the country can see live art. When we can get out of our houses safely, we can go and we can be inspired again by art. And I want you to go and support them if you can. And I really appreciate you joining me for lesson 9. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you very soon in theaters near you. So take care. Bye.